Greetings viewers, EricTheCarGuy here, back again with another lighting video for you. Yes, I know, you may be sick of them by now. But my friend Luke over at Motor Fiend asked me if I would like to try an LED kit for my 1993 Acura Vigor. And I said, you know what, heck yeah, go ahead and send it to me. I've done other headlight upgrades on both my 2004 Honda Element with HIDs, and also my 1979 Ford Fairmont got some new Sylvania headlights in there, which were actually substantially brighter. But today, we're gonna be messing with this LED kit that I got. Now, I have tried other LED kits in the past, and let's just say the results were not all that great. However, I have faith in this kit. I'll open it up and show you what's inside of it, that this will be a better option. Now, it does not come without a price. These are very pricey bulbs. However, if you're not into the installation that you need to go through to install an HID kit, this may be what you're looking for, because it's pretty much plug and play from what I can see. Lastly, I will say, it is extremely important that if you're going to upgrade the lighting in your vehicle, that you check with your local laws and make sure it is legal to upgrade the lighting to begin with. In addition, if it is, and you are going to be upgrading your lighting, I would strongly urge you to make sure that the headlights are aimed properly, because if they're not, you may be blinding oncoming drivers, which is the primary concern that has come up with these type of upgrades. So make sure that you follow those laws, rules, regulations, what have you, when doing this kind of upgrade. Here we are over at the bench. Here's my kit. As I said, these are pricey. Now I will list the prices and links in the description so that you can check out this kit for yourself. This is a single beam kit. They do have dual beam kits available, but they only have limited sizes available at this time. But these are like space age, kind of cool, different looking things, and they go right in place of the old bulbs. Now these do come with a ballast that also you'll need to install someplace. Now, I'm reluctant to screw things into the sheet metal strictly because I'm worried about rust. You might consider an adhesive backing, something like that might be a good option for you. It just depends on your installation, it'll be different. But as you can see, it's quite literally a plug and play situation. You just plug this into the old headlight connector, plug this into here, and there's no further things that you're going to need to do. Let's get one of these installed, and that way we can do a side-by-side comparison as to the old halogens and compare them to these new LEDs. Here's a before shot of the halogens before I do anything, and I'm going to do an after in the same location. As I said, I'm also going to do a side-by-side. But you'll also note that I've already aligned these headlights, so they're already where they're supposed to be, but it's kind of nice that we have this line right here that shows whether or not this beam is going to go well above this line, where it would go into a place where it would cause glare for oncoming drivers. I'm going to start with this right side since it's something, it's kind of low-hanging fruit here. And I'm just going to disconnect the headlight connector like that. And the bulb will just twist counterclockwise and come out. I'm going to save these in case they're needed or these other things burn out or there's some issue, but I'll keep them with the car. And that's what's nice about this kit, is if you need to go back, it's simply a matter of unplugging and plugging something back in. Now, some of you may be looking at this assembly and saying, hey, what's this big thing on the back here? Well, LEDs do consume less power, but they can get kind of toasty. So this is actually a cooling fan on the back to help keep things cool. So you also want to make sure this isn't obstructed back here, if at all possible. I'm going to try to get these to where the LED is facing toward the top. That's what I'm going to try and do when I install this. Now, yeah, and that just twisted right in. On some vehicles, there might be an issue with clearance, because these do stick out a great deal more than the other bulbs. But now I will hook up the ballast here, which really should just plug right in. Now these two need to come together, and I will need two hands for that. This should only go together one way, and there's a slot in the top of this connector here and also a matching one in this connector, so make sure you get it oriented correctly. Screw lock. All right. I'm not going to worry about the positioning so much right now, or where I'm going to attach it. I'm just going to sort of leave it hang there and try it and see if it works. All right, let's see how they work. Wow, that is substantially brighter. The beam doesn't seem as concentrated and as focused, but there's not a lot coming above this line. There is some, more than there is with the halogen, but as you can see, it's a whiter light, a bluer light than the yellow halogen. Now, I've positioned the camera to where I believe as an oncoming driver, well actually, you would be over here. Is where you would be. So yes, there is quite a bit more light up on top over here. There's still some on this side, but it's definitely more intense over here on the right, to the right of the vehicle. I mentioned earlier that installing this or running the screws into the sheet metal is something I wasn't interested in, just for my own personal preference. I know my Vigor is rusty as it is, and making more rust isn't going to hurt anything, but I say, why make more rust if I don't have to? But you have a couple of options here. You can take some like twist ties or something and maybe twist tie this to this wiring harness. But what I'm going to use is these 3M picture hanging adhesive pads. I'm going to give those a try. And looking around, I think what I'd like to do is actually mount this to the back of the headlight assembly just like this. I suppose I could run some screws in there, but if I can get away with just adhesive pads, I can keep with the ease of installation here and also minimize the amount of tools that I need to do this. In fact, so far I haven't used any tools whatsoever. These are different. They have kind of a hook-based type of fastening. So I'm going to need to put one strip on the back of this and one strip on here. There, I don't think that's going anywhere, and if I need to service it, I can easily just undo it and bring it out. If you're wondering what this rag is here for, I tied that there so that whenever I check my oil and things, I can just very easily use this rag to wipe it off. Cool, let's do the other side. This one's also tucked up in there nicely. Here's the after shot I promised you. Way brighter than it was before. There's no doubt. Different color temperature also, but the light output is certainly significantly increased. So if I were an oncoming car, this is about the position that I would be in. But you can see, yeah, the beam does come up a bit more on this side than it did before. But here's a close-up of the disbursement pattern, we'll call it that. It's a much flatter light. It's not as focused as it was before. But there isn't a lot that's coming above this line. There is more than before, but there's also more light than before. But I don't think there's a significant amount to cause an issue. Well, that lighting output is significantly greater than what was with the original halogens. I can honestly say that this is probably one of the easiest installations of a lighting upgrade that I think I've ever done. It's quite literally plug and play. The hardest part is making sure you've got everything lined up with that little 4-pin connector that goes to the ballast. That's about it. Outside of that, everything just plugs right in. You don't even need any tools, really, unless you need to remove things to get to your headlights. They are a bit larger, so keep that in mind. They may not fit in all applications. In mine, they seem to fit just fine. Also, I can't stress enough, some lighting upgrades of this type require that you install these bulbs into a projector beam housing. If you don't have projector beams and you're in an area where that law is in effect and required, I strongly suggest you adhere to that law and you follow it. Also, if you do install these bulbs, I would also suggest that you make sure that your headlights are properly aimed. You don't want to blind oncoming drivers. You might even consider cranking them down a little bit just because you do have that increased light output. But that being said, do this responsibly. But this is a nice, easy upgrade. Once again, thanks to my friend Luke at Motor Fiend for sending these out to me to try. But anyway, if you have automotive questions outside of what was addressed in this video, I would ask that you head over to EricTheCarGuy.com. There's a welcome video there to let you know about all of our amazing features to help you with automotive issues, should you have them. If you wish to connect with me socially, I can be found on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. I post repair videos on Fridays, so stop back and see me then. And I also close each of my videos with be safe, have fun, and stay dirty.